It's brilliant. I watched the machine break. I watched it many times. It goes brrr. Someone's pulled the plug. And then back on again. And sometimes they come in and out of it. If you see this, they go and they go back to being the machine again. There's some brilliant stuff on YouTube if you actually want to watch it. Some fantastic stuff. Police, they're fantastic. So there's a hive mentality. And the hive mentality is the core belief system that you subscribe to because you 100% every single day accept what's going on without doing anything about it. Because you then say no to these people because they're wearing costumes. Well, they are. What's a costume? They're not called acts by mistake, because they're played out by actors who are acting wearing costumes. That's all it is. And when they go home at night, they take the costume off and stop being the actor. Get up in the morning, boom, boom, put the costume back on, they're back being the actor again. It's that simple. When you realise they are just an actor wearing a costume, the thing called intimidation starts to lessen. It takes a while, it does take a while. Then fluorescent jackets that the police wear can be quite alarming to some people. I know that. A judge wearing a funny wig on his head, or a barrister wearing a wig and they struck and he's thinking it all this. It's part of the act. Do you reckon they go home at night and walk around, hello darling, had a good day? It's like me being a chippy wearing a nail belt when I get home, smashing everything with the hammer handle. But this is the point I'm making. You live in a world of fear which is of your own creation. It's because you allow it to exist, not because they allow it to exist. All they've done is realise that you'll subscribe to this and they just took the piss. That's all they've done. They've done pretty much what most people would do if people just roll over and say, oh, go on then, tickle me belly. Go on, I like it really. I love being taxed to the hill. Oh, it's fantastic. What a wonderful world we live in. But that's basically what you're saying. If you learn to use the word no, and you use it nicely, and when you do this for yourself, don't accept what I'm saying. I've done it. So I can relate the stories and tell you what actually happened, which people can corroborate and can back it up. I've been attacked heavily because I was doing 122 on the M6. Excuse me, and got flashed by a camera. Had a conversation with a policeman, who I got through the corporate officer, to the policeman, and then through to the man inside the costume, and I've never been prosecuted. I've never received a thing, and it's now actually out of date. It's completely out of date. So they can't do anything now anyway. I'm not saying you should go on the M6 and do 122 miles an hour. If you've got a car that does that speed, and you like driving fast, go up onto the M6 toll road, because it's a private piece of road, and all you've got to do is pay £5.50 to go on the racetrack. But if you don't like driving fast, don't bother. It's like me with my seatbelt thing. I want to bring it back to that. I'm going to talk about this piece of paper in a minute. I want to bring it back to this seatbelt thing. I don't wear a seatbelt because I choose not to. It's my choice. If you want to wear a seatbelt, that's your choice. This is about choice. Seatbelts are for what? The precautionary principle. A friend of mine was just in an accident wearing a seatbelt. The seatbelt broke her sternum. That bone just there. Now, if that bone had splintered off and gone the wrong direction, what would have happened to her? So she would have been killed by a seat belt. Oh. But they're there to save our lives, to stop us going through a windscreen. But in an accident, it will probably crush your chest and push your ribs into your heart. Your heart doesn't like that very much. It coughs and splutters and stops. The reason you're made to wear a seatbelt in the first place is because it's an insurance policy against part of the machine being broken that can't do the job it needs to do to keep the machine running. It's your choice. It is your choice. In my destiny, I believe in destiny. I don't actually believe in it, I know I have a destiny. I know my destiny brought me here today. Do you know how I know I've got a destiny? And I know everything's meant to be? Because if I wasn't meant to be doing this, I'd be somewhere else doing something else. Well, it is simple, isn't it? So, you have choices every single day. And this is what I want, the choice, you've got a choice whether to say yes or no. You don't have to accept things. And it's going to take a lot of us to do this. We've started something on GPC, and I did it at 4 of my talks. We picked Tesco's. Tesco. We picked Tesco's, and we said, right, we're going to boycott Tesco's over fuel. We're not going to Tesco's anymore. We're going to boycott. Absolutely. Very well said. Who was that? Well done. Quick wit, sir. What happens when enough people boycott Tesco's? What will happen to Tesco's fuel prices? What will everybody else do who supplies fuel? They'll bring their prices down, won't they? But you don't stop there. You then pick the highest again and do exactly the same. What are you going to end up with in the end? You're going to end up with fuel, not free, you was wishful thinking, Dale. What you're going to end up with is a situation where the fuel prices get to a reasonable level and will stay there because they know exactly what you'll do if they start to rise again. Who holds the power? You're getting it. See how simple it is? Now you can go down to Parliament Square and stand there till you're blue in the face, barking and shouting. You can protest outside Parliament, you can protest outside Downing Street, which is nicknamed Fort Knox. You can do all of that, and they'll just put the prices up. What happens if you start to deny their lifeline? See? It's this simple. This is how simple it is. If you want to take this government to court, can I ask you a question? What court are you going to actually take them to that they don't own? This one. Yeah, okay. No. I'd feel sorry for them if they walked into here. I'd believe me. There'd be nooses hanging from all over them. Poor buggers. I can't protect them all. Yeah.
It says in here this morning, EU takes UK to court.
Where? What court?
It says to court.
Oh, it's a court. So you're courting us now. There isn't one that they don't own. You just got to get to the reality of this. There isn't a court that these people do not own. So where are you going to take them? There is nowhere. So it's right, it's going in, this is it, right. You're walking into the court to complain to Hitler about his SS guards. Well, that's what you're doing. You just don't get it.